I'm Alania Whitney, and I'm playing Starfire in the Teen Titans web series, coming this fall. I was living in Michigan at the time, and I went on to Mandy.com, and I saw the posting there, and I was really intrigued by it because I had watched the cartoon version back in the early 2000s when I was in, little school, and I always enjoyed it, and I didn't know that it was actually, a comic book that they had, DC had written. Shelton said that it would be based more on the comic book than the cartoon, and that intrigued me even more because he said it was darker and more intense, and I thought that was really cool. Initially, I went online and I just Wikipedia'd her history, and it kind of gave you the general synopsis of her whole history, which was a lot. But then I actually went to a comic book store and picked this little doohickey up. And this is actually the origin story of Starfire, written in, I think, 1984 is when it came out. So that was kind of cool seeing her 80s hair. But and then I read through that, and it kind of put more detail and in-depth, and it was nice seeing the pictures and everything, too, because then I could really get into the mindset of the character based on, how the writers actually wrote it back in the day. Well, I've always wanted to play a superhero ever since I was a kid, just because those were always my favorite movies, the action, adventure, sci-fi, fantasy, those kinds of movies. So that, in addition to my normal personality, which is the independent, kind of competitive with the boys especially, because I like to prove myself and prove that I can do things, and I don't need a man or don't need to be rescued, anything like that. So it's really nice to play a character that is independent and can take care of herself and, take care of the rest of the world too. Well, the 2K2 basically stands for $2,000 in 2 months. And what we're doing is we're trying to raise more money so that way the costumes and the production value is up to par with the audience's standards and the fans' standards. Because we had some comments about Deathstroke's costume not being quite right, with the eye patch being too low or too high or something like that. Which to me is silly, but those are the fans' requests, and we want to make sure that we have the best costumes, the best sets, the best of everything, so that way the audience is satisfied completely. And we can't do that without your help in donating as little or as much as you want, and of course there will be rewards for the donations, like always. T-shirts, autographs. Autographs would be really cool to have, don't you think? And we need your help to make this production the best it can be. Because we're all working really hard and we want to make this project amazing. And we don't want to just, poo-poo it, throw it aside, be like, yeah, that's good enough, I guess. We want to make sure that it's up to par to the audience's standards. So, that being said, please donate to our cause. I wish that I could tell you more, but obviously I can't because it's hush-hush, it's under wraps, can't really give out all the juicy details just yet. You gotta stay tuned and watch. Titans together, Titans forever! Woo. I don't know if that was anything cool, but I was like, yeah.